Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, we're going through Exodus right now, and we have just a few episodes back, we had talked about the Passover, and we did part 1, 2, and 3, and we talked about some other stuff. Today we're actually doing part 4. The Passover was talked about, then the Passover actually happened, and then we're talking about it again here with this fourth episode. And it's called the Passover Part 4, a restricted holiday. And that means it was a holiday, it was a celebration time, but it wasn't just for everybody, okay? You know, when you have Christmas, it seems like everybody and their brother celebrates it. But because we've stuck Santa Claus and all this other stuff into it, more people celebrate it. But there's other people, other religions and stuff, that like, why do we want to celebrate Christmas, you know, in the birth of Jesus, you know, and when we believe in, when we're Islamic or Hindu or whatever, and so that kind of restricts that holiday. But even Thanksgiving is a holiday that's really restricted to the people of the United States, because we're celebrating Thanksgiving for when the Pilgrims came to the United States and so forth. Well, in Kenya, Africa, they're thankful for stuff, but they're not necessarily thankful for the Pilgrims coming to the United States. All right. So, and this is the same way. It's a Passover, but it's a restricted holiday, and we'll get into that here today. So, this is taken from Exodus chapter 4, verses 43 to 51. Let's read. It says this: the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "These are the regulations for the Passover meal." Okay? The Passover meal was a serious time. It wasn't to be taken lightly and just, oh, let's have a party and bounce house and, you know, and swim in the pool and stuff like that. Not at all. This was something of a remembrance. No foreigner may eat it. No foreigners to eat it. So if you have someone from Kenya, Africa with you that day, they're not Jewish, they're not supposed to eat it. All right? Verse 44, any slave you have bought may eat it after you have circumcised him, but a temporary resident or a hired worker may not eat it. Okay, further restrictions. If you circumcise your slave, he can eat it, but the other slaves that are not circumcised, don't do it. Verse 46, it must be eaten inside the house. Take none of the meat outside the house. Do not break any of the bones. The whole community of Israel must celebrate it. Okay, so we talked about this. The sheep was the Passover lamb, and it had to be perfect. And you were supposed to eat it in the house. And you were supposed to, if you remembered, you weren't supposed to boil it. You were supposed to basically like grill it, roast it over a fire. But notice here it says, "Do not break any of the bones." You're thinking, oh, wow, yeah, a big deal. That, remember I said earlier, all this stuff is pointing to Jesus, which is to come much later. And so you weren't supposed to break this Passover lamb's bones here. And in the same way, when Jesus comes, are any of his bones broken at all during the crucifixion? Not at all, okay? They don't break any of his bones. And it all goes to fulfill prophecy. And it all ties in with the Passover, okay? Verse 48, a foreigner residing among you who wants to celebrate the Lord's Passover must have all the males in his household circumcised. Then he may take part like one born in the land. No uncircumcised male may eat it. The same law applies both to native born and to the foreigner residing among you. Okay, so making it very clear, this isn't for foreigners to take part of, and you better be circumcised, and in fact, your whole household better be circumcised. Verse 50, all the Israelites did just what the Lord had commanded Moses, okay, and Aaron. And on that very day, the Lord brought the Israelites out of Egypt by their divisions. At this point, the people are following Moses and Aaron exactly what they say. They're not deviating. They're not trying to negotiate like Pharaoh did, like, oh, let's obey God part way and not all the way. Pharaoh was trying to do that, negotiate. But the people, they have seen God work through these plagues, and they're not wanting to mess around. They are they're taking this very seriously, and it says they obeyed whatever Moses and Aaron said to the T. They weren't going to like, oh, let's experiment about it. They were obeying everything. So I just wanted to point that out. The Passover was a restricted holiday, and in the same way today, communion is it's not a holiday, but it's something we celebrate. And again, that's restricted. It's for Christians. You don't, go into your local Perkins and while you're eating with all your unsaved friends have communion. That's not when we have communion. So it's a restricted holiday, but also the Passover here and all these regulations that are part of it, all are pointing to Jesus, which will happen and be our ultimate sacrifice in the future. I want to thank you for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we are actually jumping into chapter 13 of Exodus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.